Hello and a very warm welcome to MPG Pianos and my little workshop come showroom here. My name's Matthew and this is an absolutely super Yamaha U1 piano. It's actually a U1A piano. They all have, most of the pianos that you see in the shops, the second-hand Yamahas, they'll either be H's, M's or A's. And this U1 is an A, which dates it into the sort of mid to late 80s, so it's on the newer side compared to some. I think it's absolutely beautiful. I've just actually finished toning it, so that's the last job that I have to do when I prepare it here. I go through the regulation to make sure that everything's nice and beautifully even, and I then tone it to make the sound really, the tone really come through, and to make it nice and even so it's not too bright. And then it goes on sale, and that's where we are with this. It's now available, and I'd like to play you something just to show you its tone. So I hope that beautiful tone came through there. It's even, but it's a joy to play. It's got a brightness to it, but it's not overly bright, I feel. And it's, heartwarming, I feel. So there we are. So that's its tone. And now I'd like to show you the piano in a little more detail, the casework. Because the casework on this piano and on the recent batch that I selected is absolutely first class. It's some of the best casework I've seen. In Japan, where these come from, there's specialist companies that restore them, recondition them, and they repolish the case. And the good ones do a fantastic job, as you can see they have here. I mean, I struggle really to find a blemish on this piano at all. I hesitate to say perfect, but it's pretty much there, I feel. So that's the casework, and I'd like to point out this Yamaha U3 next door to it, because there's a difference in height. Can you see that? A lot of people go for a Yamaha U3. Yamaha U3s are fabulous pianos, but they're not right for everybody, because if your piano is going into a smaller house or a smaller room, you really need to make sure that it's not going to overpower you, because the Yamaha U3 does have some really big volume. So Yamaha U3s are fantastic pianos, absolutely superb. They're not right for everybody. So if it's going into a small room, or in some cases if it's going into a place where you are teaching or you're accompanying and you need to see the people that you're teaching or accompanying, the U1 might be better because it's smaller and you can see over it. So there's a number of reasons why you might actually prefer a U1. So there's its badge. Now I was telling you earlier, it's an A. So there's its A, which dates it sort of newer than the H's and the M's. And its serial number is there, 4357279, and that dates it to 1987. So this piano, this U1, was made in 1987 in Japan, in the proper factory. And there's its number again, as if to make doubly sure, on a little brass plate. And this here, it's a Yamaha certified piano. Now what that means is Yamahas have certified that in the reconditioning, all the parts are genuine Yamaha parts. So when the piano comes in here, I regulate it again. It's supposed to be done once, but I never feel that it's quite right. So I go through it again and I shape the hammer, or face the hammers to the strings to make sure that they're hitting the strings nice and squarely. And I tone the hammers with needles to give it its lovely tone, lovely even tone. I tune it up, and obviously I regulate it properly to make sure that everything's nice and even, so that the hammers, for example, they're all in line and they all check in line as well, which, believe me, they don't when they first come in. So there we are. That shows you how good it is inside. Again, it's looking pretty much, dare I say, as good as new. It's not a term I like to use, but it really is looking like that to me. So I'm going to put the casework back on now. I hope that's given you some indication of how good this piano is. I think it's a pretty fantastic piano myself. I love the tone of it. It's a joy to play. And please do get in touch if you're interested in making an appointment to come and see this fantastic Yamaha U1. Other than that, I wish you all the best. This is Matthew saying goodbye.